Hello, church. As we go into 2025, I really want to make sure that our church never lets the Great Commission slip. If we fail in seeing people saved, baptized, and discipled, then it's like, well, what are we even doing here? We're called to reach people with the gospel. I heard of one church, and I liked it. They don't have sports programs because they said, we want our families to be out in the community. And sports with other kids is our church's possibility. It's our church's opportunity to go shine the light of the gospel out there in the community that needs it most. They said we don't have a Christian school because we're called to be a church, not a school. And we're called to be missionaries in our communities. And we want to train our church to shine as lights in our communities. Now, you might have different philosophies about all of that, but you can't deny that as a church, we're called to preach the gospel. And I'm for all of us doing that in any way that we can, however we can, through sports, through school, through work. I'm talking about everywhere. So coming up in 2025, we have 4 ways this year that I'd like to help our church reach people. There's an entire outreach page that we have in our 2025 Vision Sunday booklet that we're handing out. The first way is through the class, through our Bible Institute. If you're nervous about sharing your faith, if you're unsure about that, then I encourage you to sign up for the 7 o'clock Tuesday night classes. You'll hear people from your careers encouraging you to go to classes. You'll hear college and guidance counselors encouraging you to take college classes to further your career and all of that. And as a pastor, I'm not ashamed to invite you all, every single one of you, to sharpen your skills in sharing your faith and to commit yourself to an extra class to do so, even coming on an off night on a Tuesday night. I think that would be a wonderful skill to develop and a good thing for you to do. A weekly class is the first outreach opportunity. The second way I'd like to encourage outreach is to go back to our bi-weekly meetings at church. We'll still have the weekly outreach table set up, and that's our way to spread the word systematically to our neighbors. These are the neighborhoods closest to the church. But I'd like to go back to meeting every other week starting February 1st. And one of those Saturdays every month is going to be our all-church outreach meeting. We've had that this past year, but we haven't had the weekly meetings or the bi-weekly meetings like we used to. And so I'd like to get back to that. You keep on reaching the people within your circles, but I also know that we reach our people in our circles, but many times we don't reach strangers. And so I want us all to have the mentality of going beyond ourselves and reaching strangers through the systematic outreaches of the church, going door to door through the neighborhoods within the church. I just don't know of a better way of getting our church connected to the strangers that are closely attached to our church, just in these neighborhoods right around. So our Saturday meetings will resume. I believe we need that to help keep outreach in front of us all the time. Third, we have outreach events at the church. We're just working this week through some digital outreach. Brother Bryant works in marketing, and he helps businesses with their digital reach. And so in addition to the regular outreach, all the door-to-door, the printed handouts, the personal invitations, especially for Easter this year, then I'd like to do a digital outreach and help us get out into our local public square, which is social media and the digital realm where people are living. It's amazing how many people will check out a church based on its reviews. They'll decide whether to attend or not based on reviewing us on Google or reviewing us on Yelp. And maybe you can get involved in something like that, posting encouraging things on Temecula Talk or Temecula Patch. So for Easter, we're going to try to work on that and see what God does through our community, both physical outreach and digital outreach. Now, the biggest outreach event of the year is going to be our Fall Festival. It's going to be a shortened service. We'll have guest preacher Don Ball here with us. He's preached to lost people pretty much every week at Fort Leonard Wood in the Free Day Away program that they had. Through their church, they've seen hundreds of thousands of people saved. These soldiers, these recruits at Fort Leonard Wood, over the decades, and it's just incredible. I've been there a couple times and just love this man's preaching, and he has a heart for the gospel. He's going to preach a gospel message, and then we're going to dismiss our church and have a wonderful fall festival outside. And I love full church involvement on this one. We're not going to do the Christmas play this year, so all the time that would have been spent preparing for the Christmas play, learning lines, building sets, rehearsing, all of that, I'd like to pour all that effort into making this an excellent event. So we have ideas, nothing set in stone yet, maybe a short, silly drama, maybe some kind of petting zoo or pony rides and just good prizes. We just want to be a hub of activity as a thing to invite people to, not just families, but that it'll be good for singles, it'll be good for retired folks as well. And so we want to start working right now and preparing for our fall festival in November, which means we've got about 10 months to prepare for this thing. And I'm talking about right now thinking I'm going to pick somebody, I'm going to pick a business leader or some friend or someone that I want to help, and I'm going to invest every single month, do something once a month to try to reach out to that person, make some kind of contact and connection with them. Maybe you do that with 10 people. Choose 10 things to do for 10 different people, or once per month from now until November. My goal is for every single person in our church to bring one person. That's the goal. I think that means that we're spreading a lot of seed, and if you try to reach 10 people and one of them comes, well, then praise the Lord. Each of us got one person. Our Christmas program had so many guests because you invited people. And this is a new event for us, but I'm very, very excited for this one. And I think it means that we start right now. Now, finally, on the back page of our booklet is talking about our missions trip to the Philippines. And I'm going to preach a gospel message while we're there in the Philippines on that Sunday that we're there for the services. And we want to see people saved. Our folks are going to be ministering in outreaches in the villages when we go to the Philippines. And so I'm praying for this to be a fruitful time for us, not just a vacation. Some of us are tacking on a couple extra days of vacation, but the time that we're there as a church family, well, then this is a ministry trip, and we want to use this time to evangelize the lost. At our church in 2025, we're emphasizing a few things: the new to CBC class, the Deeper in the Word Bible Institute, this outreach emphasis. And I'm just saying, these are simple things. They're not flashy, but I believe this is what a church is made of. Overall this year, I'm so excited for this steadfast, unmovable direction God has set us on for the past 38 years. And I want us to always abound in the work of the Lord, continuing the next 38 years as well. God bless you, church. Let's do ministry together in 2025.